What's up, fam? Brandon Walker, more Cowbell, the Mississippi State podcast presented by SEC Country. We are coming to you from the SEC Country Studios in Atlanta, Georgia. When's the last time the sun was shining? Anybody remember that?
2017.
2017. Been a while.
Yep.
Been a while. That was almost 2 months ago now.
Yep.
We're in 2018, right? Yes, we are.
I think.
We definitely are. Mississippi State podcast, SEC Country. Brandon Walker, again, coming to you from the SEC Country Studios. In a little better mood than I was yesterday, certainly. In a little better mood than I was yesterday. Yesterday was quite rough. It was quite rough. Although, I admit, is there something wrong with the camera? I'm not looking good today out here.
Yep.
Did y'all do something to the camera?
I think our little system just crashed on us. Oh. Now it's switching.
Are we
yeah,
good?
something's going on our end.
Something's going on.
All righty, give me a second.
Are we okay? Are we streaming? We are streaming. Everything seems to be all right on the. All right, I'll just talk to everybody. Dan Glenn, I live in Florida. Sun is always shining. That's bragging, Dan. You shouldn't be bragging. Hail State from Conway, Arkansas. Mendenhall, Lance Chain. Brian Mendeguest says, "What's up, brother?" Hello, Brian. Good morning, Brandon, from the lovely Nissan plant. Jason Brinson. I have a guy that I graduated with at Point City that works at the Nissan plant. It's not the camera. Trust me. Oh, that's funny, Steven. That is funny. It's the lack of a tie. You know what, Shannon? I think you're right. I don't feel as good without the tie. I might go tie every day from here on out. I look better when I wear a tie. I might go tie from here on out. I own like 3 ties, though. That would get old very quickly. Great win last night. Yeah, that's going to be something we talk about extensively here. Wow, that basketball team. I mean, they're good. They're a good basketball team now, and it's legitimate. They're one of the top 3 to 5 teams in the SEC. There's no doubt about that. At this point, they're one of the top 3 to 5 teams in the SEC. They're in that log jam at 8-7 with about 5 other teams. But State has a good schedule coming home. We'll talk about that. We'll go ahead and Jay Hammer says, "Rest in paradise" to Billy Graham. Yeah, what a life. What a life. Man, what a life. Can you imagine being the guy in the judgment line behind Billy Graham? Like, they get done letting Billy Graham in, and then they come to you. All right, now what did you do? Checking in from Canizaro's house, helping him pack. Dwayne Buton says, "Great win last night." It was a great win. A terrific win. We will talk extensively about that. That's going to be my luck. When I get there, I'm going to be in the judgment line behind somebody like that. Landon Miles says, "Way to bring everybody down, Jay." Yeah, Jay Hammers is the worst, isn't he? It's classic Jay Hammers. How can we have a better record than A&M, better SEC record, and they are 6th seed and we're out? BS. Scott H. Chilton. Well, first of all, they're not going to be a 6th seed. They're going to be like a 9 or a 10. Second, they had a very respectable non-conference and did very well in non-conference and then fell apart. We had the opposite. We didn't have a respectable non-conference, and then in conference, we really took off. So that's the answer. I don't know if it's right, but that's the answer. So on today's show, Chad Mass, don't get technical on me. That was just a joke. It was just for effect. On today's show, we'll talk about Andy Canizaro. We'll go ahead and turn the page. We'll go ahead and move on. This will be the last time we talk about him on the show. Still the biggest story in the state, I would say. We'll talk about the fallout, Mississippi State moving forward, and we'll close the book on Andy Canizaro at Mississippi State as far as this show is concerned. Then we'll talk about basketball. Biggest win of the season. Biggest win of the season, and it was just impressive how they did it. They just choked out A&M from the start. Very impressive win for the basketball team. And then, you know what? It was a tough day yesterday for State fans, for the fan base, for everything. And then last night, Rebel Rags comes through and gives me something fun to talk about. And I'm just gonna go off about that. So that'll be good. And I don't even script it. I'm just gonna go. We'll have a 2-minute drill at the end of the show. If you've never been here, 2-minute drill is where I interact with you guys. I ask you 5 questions. You give me the answers. Sometimes Turp plays along. Sometimes he doesn't. Right now, he's texting on his phone, not paying attention.
I'm paying attention to everything.
I like that shirt. You don't see many guys past the age of 12 wear a Ringer shirt like that.
Thank you.
So
Forever 21 is my spot.
Forever 21 is your spot. See, that's how. Okay.
Low-key fire male section.
Low-key fire male section.
Yep.
You keep talking, you're going to be in the fired male section.
Ooh, nice.
Hey! See what I did there?
That was funny.
I took the words you used.
7.9 on that.
Thank you. Hail State, go Dogs. Jessica M. Bosley. Sylvia joins us. Tell us Gingle. Sorry. Give me a pronunciation guide there. She joins us, says hello. I'm the worst with names. New names I've never seen before. Morgan Maurice Willis just does the face palm. Yeah, that happens a lot here. That happens a lot. I'm wearing a tie tomorrow. I'm tired of this not looking. I don't like the way I look.
Are you
right
wearing
now.
the same one, or are you gonna switch it up?
No, same one every day.
Oh,
probably.
gosh.
My Mississippi State tie. Andy and Freeze walk into a bar. Well, I can. That might be a bar we need to go to, Terp, because that's going to have a lot of women there.
I'm down.
Yeah, boy, that's Andy and Freeze walk into a bar. Well, I hope the third guy ducks. Terp needs more camera time. That's not true at all. Ginger Tuck, hello, how are you? Tate County, Mississippi, checking in. Does Forever 21 have ties? I don't think Forever 21 even has male clothes. He's just
They do.
What dude shops at Forever 21?
Me.
What dude shops at Forever 21?
You just complimented my shirt, did you not?
I was joking. You're wearing a Ringer shirt. You look like you're an extra in The Sandlot.
I am. I was in that movie.
You look like you can roll up a pack of cigarettes in your shirt.
Yeah,
that's an awful looking shirt.
I'm from the 50s.
You have to admit you've had plenty of talking points on MSU sports lately. Job security, Wade Glass. Well, my job security comes from being excellent at my job. But yeah, you're right. A lot of stuff going on lately. Hernando, Mississippi, Kingsport, Tennessee. Chris Van Zant checking in. Just think if we would have beaten Missouri and Vanderbilt would be set up. Yeah, we would, but it is what it is. It is what it is. You just be pleased with what they've done now. When are they going to give you a raise for having to deal with Terp and Landshark? Very, very soon.
I think we need a raise.
You need a raise.
Dealing with you every day.
Oh, is that right? Huh. Yay, Terp's making a joke. You wouldn't even be one of the good ones on the Sandlot. You'd be like the ninth. You'd be the ninth player, and they only had 8 guys on the team.
The All-Star.
All right. Top 5 80s movies. We'll get to that later. Kenny. 2-minute drills coming up at the end of the show. Anything? Christopher Smith weirds me out. You know why? I've told you all this.
Why?
Christopher Smith, which thank you for listening and watching to the show. But my boss is named Christopher Smith, and he's like right back there. And I thought every time he says something, I think I'm talking to him, but I'm not. Or maybe I am. I don't know. The Shrekking crew is revolting. Yeah, they are pretty revolting. They are awful.
Yeah.
They are awful. You guys ready?
After
Today's show.
Never mind.
Today's show, Andy Cannizaro. We're going to close the book on that. Mississippi State with his biggest win of the year in basketball. Rebel Rags, hilarious, and 2-minute drill. That's the show. Let's go.
The More Cowbell Show, brought to you by SEC Country. And now, your host of the More Cowbell Show, Brandon Walker.
That's me, Brandon Walker. More Cowbell, the Mississippi State podcast presented by SEC Country. That is probably troubling to everybody in this building that is not me or you guys. That is probably very surprising to people that are just going on about their day and they hear a cowbell. Well, you know what? Look at that lady. That lady rolled her eyes out there in the hall. I don't care what you think, lady. Anyway, More Cowbell, the Mississippi State podcast presented by SEC Country. Coming to you from the SEC Country studios in Atlanta, Georgia. Got the Shrekking crew on the other side of the glass. Terp, Landshark, they're doing a terrible job. As always, today, we're going to close the book on Andy Cannizaro, that chapter of Mississippi State history. Going to be closed as far as this show is concerned. Not really any need to talk about him any further. We will go ahead and I'll get whatever talking points I had yesterday that I didn't get to. I'll get those out today, and then we'll talk about the future of the baseball program. But the future of men's basketball looks really good. and the present starting to look pretty good as well. Mississippi State goes on the road and just chokes out Texas A&M 93-81. Very, very, very impressive win for this team. Very impressive to go on the road and play another tournament team and beat them at home. That's just a terrific turn of events. And you know what? Yesterday was kind of tough for us. Yesterday was tough for me as a State fan, tough for the fan base. I needed something hilarious to happen. I needed something to poke fun of, to look at and laugh and gawk. I needed Ole Miss to do something stupid. That's what I needed. And enter Rebel Rags and his lawsuit. Bam! We'll talk about that a little bit later. 2-minute drill coming up at the end of the show. But first, we get to baseball. I almost forgot the name of the show. It's More Cowbell, the Mississippi State podcast presented by SEC Country. We're going to go ahead and close the book on Andy Cannizaro. Yeah. So we're a couple of, I don't know, what are we, 36 hours from when the news broke, 24 hours from him officially resigning. The official terminology was that he resigned. He was not fired with cause. He resigned. And he put out his statement that, he made mistakes. He blew this opportunity. And that's exactly what happened. Andy Cannizaro blew his opportunity of a lifetime. And the ultimate point I'm going to make today is, in the long run, ultimately, the big loser in this ordeal is not Mississippi State. It's not the fan base. It's not the players. The big loser in this deal is Andy Cannizaro. He had the world on a silver platter. He had the world by the string. He had everything going for him. He was given the opportunity of a lifetime. He was handed one of the top 5 jobs in college baseball, despite never, ever being a college baseball head coach. He was handed that, and he had everything going in the right direction, it seemed, on the field last year, but he blew it. He made some selfish decisions. He blew it. And I don't really know much more that you can say about that. I hope the guy is okay in the long run. He has already asked Mississippi State fans for forgiveness. I don't see any reason why we wouldn't forgive him. I mean, he didn't do anything to me personally. The people in his life that he affected, I hope and pray that they end up forgiving each other or whatever needs to happen there. I hope everybody's okay. Because ultimately, it's a bigger deal for that family than it's going to be for Mississippi State fans in the long run. Andy Cannizaro is gone. This will be the last word about him. This, ultimately, in the long run, I think this could be a blip on the radar for Mississippi State baseball. It could be a blip on the radar. Now, it's embarrassing in the moment. It was shocking in the moment. But I think we'll move on pretty quickly. We have Gary Henderson, the interim coach, a veteran coach who's going to step right in. He's going to manage this team tonight. And I have no doubt the players will put it behind him quickly. Gary Henderson will see to that. John Cohen will see to that. And I think we're going to have some adult leadership shine through, which is where we kind of failed with our head coach. We're going to have some adult leadership shine through. And that's what happens. When you have a problem, when something like this embarrassing happens, you need adults to step up and decisively make these decisions to move your program quickly and swiftly in the right direction. We haven't always seen that in this state. Some just lie on top of lies. Some just try to bury themselves as far as they can. But John Cohen has really stepped up as a leader. John Cohen has really stepped up and got us going back. Gary Henderson, putting him on the staff in the first place was a brilliant move. But Gary Henderson, the Gary Henderson era starts tonight. J.P. France, a transfer from Tulane, starts against Jackson State. I thought that was at Smith Wheel Stadium. We're playing on campus at Jackson State. I mean, how many does that seat? How many State fans are going to want to go see the start of a new era and can't because it's a small stadium? I don't know the answer to that question. I don't know. I mean, I'm not in Jackson, so who knows? Everybody wanted Andy Cannizaro to succeed, and maybe he would have. Maybe he would have. He certainly got off to a roaring start last year, but ultimately, his actions took away that chance. They took that chance away from Mississippi State, from its players, and most importantly, from him. Now, it's on to the next one. It is on to the next one for Mississippi State. Coaching searches in baseball, to me, at Mississippi State University, coaching searches in baseball probably hold more promise for fans than any other coaching search. If you really think about that. I mean, you've got more to offer per capita in baseball than you have in any other sport. And I think State has plenty to offer in every sport. Football, basketball, women's basketball. I think State has plenty to offer. But in baseball, it's almost like an embarrassment of riches. there really wasn't a search last time either. When John Cohen moved to the AD's chair, it was kind of a quiet search. He had Andy Cannizaro lined up by the time he was the AD. There wasn't a long coaching search. We really haven't had a coaching search in Mississippi State baseball since what? When Cohen was hired, what was that, 08, 09, somewhere around in there? Almost a decade. And so much has changed. What will be the effect of the new stadium on the search? I don't know the answer to that. How about the John Cohen effect? How about working for a guy who knows baseball, who's going to put all his resources into baseball? Those are two exciting questions as we enter the search phase of this story. I think there's no point in predicting right now who the next coach is going to be because we got 4 or 5 months until that hire is made. But I feel like we're exiting the controversial part of the story, we're exiting the embarrassing part, and we're going to be shortly moving into the exciting part. Because when you dangle the idea of a new baseball coach out there, it is exciting. And with so much going on at Mississippi State, with so much to offer, you can get a very good coach. And I think we'll leave Andy Cannizaro in the past very quickly and soon become excited over the opportunity to find someone else. That's what I think. Opportunity is also something for the basketball team. They have earned the opportunity to, well, they're firmly on the bubble now. They are firmly on the bubble now. And you can say, what if the ref had working eyeballs at Missouri? What if we didn't blow it in the last 10 seconds against Vanderbilt? What if several things happen? But the fact of the matter is 20-8, 8-7 in the SEC, a very competitive SEC where every team is pretty good. No team is elite, but every team's pretty good. Even the worst teams aren't that bad. Every team's pretty good, and Mississippi State right in the mix. They're at 8-7. They're at how many teams are tied at 8-7? At least 5. I think Arkansas, Missouri, Kentucky, Florida, Mississippi State, and there might be a couple more. Is Alabama in there? There are a bunch of teams tied at 8-7, and Mississippi State is right in the mix. And they're in the mix because they went to Texas A&M last night, and they won 93-81. That was impressive. That was impressive. To go on the road after two straight heartbreakers on the road. 2 games you absolutely, well, the Missouri game you earned to win. The Vanderbilt game you all but earned to win. And last night they didn't let that distract them. They didn't let that bother them. They got up on A&M and just kind of pounded them the whole night. Never really let A&M get up off the mat. It reminded me of Mississippi State's football game against A&M in 2017 where we went to College Station. It was a big game for both, and we just never really let them get in it. It was 21-0. I think we won 35-14. It was very similar last night. 93 points on the road. That's impressive. This team's been good at defense all year, but the offense. And a lot of people say, oh, Lamar Peters is the difference, and he is. He's been very good. He was excellent last night. He reached a new level, 15-7-7. That is very, very, very impressive. You get that from him, you're going to be hard to beat. Lamar Peters, his turnaround has coincided with State's turnaround. But really, it's across the board. Every player is playing better than he was earlier this year. Abdul Adu, terrific last night against a very big team. Terrific, 19 points, career high. Quindary Weatherspoon's better than he was earlier this year. Nick Weatherspoon's better than he was. Tyson Carter better than he was at times this year. Every player we got on the court is better. Eric Holman fighting through injury to play last night. Impressive. And to me, the offensive improvement is easily the biggest story of the season. But the offensive improvement comes not from our players getting better, but it comes from our players really learning how to play basketball together. Earlier this season, you got 8 or 9 talented guys in the rotation, and you got 8 or 9 guys worried about how they're going to get their shots. And with so many talented players, if I pass this ball, it's not coming back. I'm not going to get to shoot it. This might be my only time to shoot it in the game. I got to shoot it. Well, now that's all gone. They don't think individually anymore. They think team-wise. They think about the team. And Lamar Peters is a perfect example of that. 7 assists last night. Terrific. Lamar Peters is a guy that would have shot 22 times earlier this season. Now, he's doing exactly what a point guard needs to do, and it has changed everything. Ben Allen has got these guys playing like a team, and it's great to watch. I don't think we have a tournament resume at this point, but I think we are as good as a whole lot of tournament teams. I don't think we have a tournament resume because our non-conference was so poor, but I think we are good. I know we are good enough to be a tournament team. We are one of the top, I think we're one of the top 30 teams in America right now. right now we're one of the top 30 teams. I'm not talking about body of work. I'm not counting what happened in November, December. I'm talking right now today. I might go higher. We might be one of the top 25 teams in the country right now. There are not 25 teams that would take the court against Mississippi State in a neutral site right now and beat us. There's just not. A&M's going to get in. There's 6-9 in the SEC, but their non-conference was great. They're going to get in, probably a 9 or 10 seed. Arkansas is going to get in. Missouri's probably going to get in. Florida's probably going to get in. State's better than every one of those teams right now. It took a miracle and theft for Missouri to beat Mississippi State at home. Florida got us early. A&M got drilled by us. Arkansas got beat by us. Mississippi State's better than all those teams. And you look up, and all of a sudden State might finish third in the SEC, third or fourth. Wow. We're 8-7. Mississippi State could finish 11-7. They could win out. South Carolina at home, Tennessee at home, the biggest 2 home games in years. We can win those 2 games. The Tennessee game is gigantic because that's an RPI booster. Not an RBI booster. That would be runs batted in baseball. It's gigantic. And then the road game against LSU. If we can win in College Station, we can win in Baton Rouge. So we could very well finish 11-7 in this league, in a tough league. I don't think you can leave that team out if they do that. The next 2 games are the biggest games in the Humphrey Coliseum outside of Vic Schaefer's teams in years. Our non-conference might keep us out. I'm not going to panic if it does. I'm not going to be mad if it does because he took a calculated risk. He thought he wanted to build this team. He wanted to mature this team and grow this team, and they scheduled lightly because of it. Now, it might keep us out. It definitely might do that. But we are absolutely one of the SEC's 5 best teams right now in men's basketball. And the future is very, very, very exciting. Yesterday, I didn't know what I was going to do because I like to always have a little fun on the show, have some jokes, but Andy Cannizaro just wasn't a funny situation. It wasn't a joking situation. So I needed something to happen. In short, I needed Ole Miss to do something stupid. And here comes Rebel Rags with the lawsuit. Yesterday in court, Rebel Rags, who had previously sued Kobe Jones and Leo Lewis, because that's what you do when NCAA trouble hits your school, right? You sue college football players. You sue 19-year-olds because you're going to get a lot of money out of that. Yesterday, they gave us the gift of refiling, and they added Dan Mullen, the NCAA investigator Mike Sheridan, and Florida Athletic Director Scott Strickland. There's a lot to unpack here. They are accusing these guys of conspiracy, commercial disparagement, conspiring to take down Rebel Rags or to hurt the business. And I just got to tell you, it's the most hilarious thing I've ever seen. The idea that Lindsey Miller, Laramie Tunsil's stepfather, got together with Leo Lewis, who got together with Kobe Jones, who got together with Scott Strickland, who got together with Dan Mullen, who got together with Mike Sheridan, the NCAA investigator, who got together with the entire NCAA and said, guys, we got to take down Rebel Rags. We got to bring those SOBs down. They are too important. Are you serious? Who lacks the self-awareness to think a college football coach and a college athletic director wants to harm your business? Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Dan Mullen is coaching a football team. And listen, I'll get to that in a second. Dan Mullen's coaching a football team. He's got time to come up with conspiracies against retail businesses in Oxford. I will thank Rebel Rags for this. Dan Mullen, Scott Strickland, they ain't our problem right now. Give them all the headaches you can. I will cheer you on. If you remove Leo Lewis, if you remove the football players, I will help fund that lawsuit. I will be excited. I will sit in the stands or I will sit in the courtroom with popcorn saying, "Go Rebel Rags, go." But it's you're not going to win. It's a stupid loss. Dan Mullen and Scott Strickland. I mean, I'm just joking about really disliking Scott Strickland, but the Mississippi State thing aside, you think Scott Strickland had anything to do with taking Rebel Rags and making them look bad? Then I realized something. I'm going about this the wrong way. I'm going about this entirely the wrong way. This lawsuit isn't about winning the lawsuit. It's not about getting money from the lawsuit. It's not about Dan Mullen. It's not about Scott Strickland. It's not about Leo Lewis. This lawsuit is about Ole Miss fans. About appealing to Ole Miss fans. It's about being the one guy who steps up when the mean old NCAA is cheating your program and they're corrupt and they're doing all these bad things. Being the one guy to stand up and bravely fighting the good fight. When nobody else would, you went to the Delta and got you a 97-year-old lawyer, and you're fighting the good fight. I don't know how old he is. Sure, he's a great lawyer. You're fighting the good fight. It's about appealing to the lowest common denominator Ole Miss fan and becoming a hero. And that's what Rebel Rags is doing. He's becoming an Ole Miss hero. And I got to be honest. He's going to become a hero. He's going to fight the NCAA. Ole Miss fans are going to love him. And he's going to rake in money hand over fist. As a lawsuit, I think it's incredibly foolish. It can't work. It won't work. But as a marketing tool, it's kind of genius. It is kind of brilliant. So maybe he's just outsmarted the whole group. Maybe he's just smarter than all of us. Because Ole Miss fans are going to love this guy forever. And I can't imagine ever thinking that mattered to me in life, because getting loved by Ole Miss fans seems like winning a minor league baseball title, but it is what it is. If you operate in that world, go for it. 2-minute drill. Let's do this. 2-minute drill. I ask you 5 questions. You give me the answers. I'll turn to the Facebook Live. Got a couple state questions. Number 1, if you could go back and stop, you go back in time and stop one off the field thing from happening at Mississippi State, what would you stop? Certainly Andy Cannizzaro's decisions are right there front and center. There are other decisions made by people in our athletic program through the years. I have a couple. I would probably go back in time to late 2009, and I would stop Cam Newton from ever visiting Auburn or talking to Auburn. That's what I would try to do. Or I would somehow go back in time to 2012, 13, whenever it was, and I would try to get Rick Ray's flight canceled for his job interview in Starkville. That's the 2 things I would do. I would try to intervene on both of that. Dax DUI, hiring Rick Ray, Renardo Sidney fighting the stand, says Dylan Newell. Buster Bones says getting married at State. That's a personal problem, Buster. A.J. Brown being signed by Ole Miss. The fight in Hawaii, the Jeffrey Simmons fight, that's a good one. Scott Chilton says Richard Williams, one of my favorite coaches. The 2008 offseason when half the football team got arrested for the gun incident, Jay Hammers. The fight in Hawaii, it looks like the fight in Hawaii is winning. But the fight in Hawaii was embarrassing, but did it change? I mean, did it change anything? I don't know if that team was ever going to be good. Kiefer McGee, well, certainly I would like Kiefer McGee to still be alive. Now I feel silly for, I guess I was trying to not say life and death things. Keep Kiefer McGee from, okay, all right, let's move on. Yes, of course we would, all right. Yes, I know what you said, Chad. I know what you said. I can't say it, but I know what you said. Number 2. What would the title of ESPN's 30 for 30 about the Andy Cannizzaro era at Mississippi State be? What would the title of ESPN's 30 for 30 about this Andy Cannizzaro saga, what would it be? See how quick some of you are. See how fast some of you are. Not that easy. I'm clearly stalling for time right now. As my Facebook Live audience, Jay Hammer says blowing it. It's a good start. Brian Sis says bump and grind. Wayman Hodge says wrong bat, wrong dugout. Rounding third. One and done. That wrong bat, wrong dugout might be the leader so far. Long, cool woman in a black dress. Bye, like in his ride along video with Bob Carskadden. Oh, boy. Some of these are really good. Some of these are one and done. Rags to riches, back to rags. Dan Glenn says, you better stop. Is that okay? You're just telling me to stop. Hit and quit. That's a good one. Who said that? Oh boy. Wow. It's probably best for all of us that we move on. I think I like Hit and Quit. That's a good baseball title. Number 3. Let's get off sports. Let's go into these non-sports topics. I like these. Terp gets excited. You're not gonna like the first one because I know you don't eat this stuff. Best breakfast food. Have I ever asked that one? I don't think I have. We've discussed it. What's your favorite breakfast food? The one thing that could be on your table in the morning that excites you the most.
Pork roll, egg, and cheese on everything bagel. Boom.
Who even are you? A pork roll, egg, and cheese on everything bagel.
Toasted.
Toasted.
Yes, with orange juice.
What do you like? Whatever. David Wallace Laird says yogurt. Biscuits, Boyd Barnett. Steak and eggs, Mac McBrayer. Breakfast burrito from Wade Glass. Why can't you guys just say bacon? Let's just say bacon and be done with it. Bacon. Bacon. Kenny Manning says McDonald's pancakes. Ginger Tuck loves French toast because she has 6 exclamation points. Egg, cheese, and sausage omelet with orange juice, Micah Halfake. Thank you, Sandra Thompson. Sandra Thompson wins. Bacon. That's the correct answer. I would have also accepted sausage. I would have also accepted hash browns. Hash browns, the most underrated food in America. I will never be talked away from that. You've never had bad hash browns. Hash browns are delicious. Number 4. What number am I on? 4? Best board game. Best board game. Favorite board game? Great question. Thank you, Brandon.
I'm going to go Monopoly, I think.
Yeah, that's so boring. That's so boring.
Beat everyone.
That's exactly what you would say. That's the most boring answer.
Sorry. Sorry's fun.
I don't know that I've ever played Sorry.
What?
I don't think I've ever played. Jay Hammer says Sorry. Boyd Barnett says Monopoly. So here I go insulting your two, and there they are. Risk, Monopoly, Clue. You guys are way off.
I like Trivial Pursuit, too, what Buster Bones says. Good one.
Battleship. The answer is Scattergories.
Ooh, that's a fun one.
Scattergories is...
That's not really a board game, though. There's no board.
A game. A family game.
You didn't clarify. You should have said game. You said board game.
Shoots and ladders. Trouble. Chess. I'm not going to hang out with any of you people. This is all boring. Scrabble's a good one. Hungry Hippo, Garrett Weaver. That's the winner. That's the winner. Backgammon, Twister. That's a heck of a big board there, Brandon McGarity. And number 5. What's the best Pixar movie of all time? The best Pixar movie of all time. Disney Pixar. You got Cars, Monsters, Inc., The Incredibles. You got WALL-E. You got Ratatouille. You got the Toy Story movies. You got others.
I might go Incredibles on that.
You're going to go with The Incredibles. Of the entire Pixar universe,
yes,
your favorite is
Toy Story
The
is
Incredibles.
My favorite. Monsters, Inc. was good.
Monsters, Inc. Got Toy Story, Toy Story 1, Lion King, which was not a Pixar movie. Toy Story. A lot of people loving the Toy Story here. Toy Story, duh. Somebody says Pixar. That's accurate. That's what we're talking about. Finding Nemo, yes, there's one. That's a good one.
Another good one.
That is a good one. Kung Fu Panda 1, again, not Pixar. Incredibles are out of the ones you named. Incredibles or WALL-E. Good call, Terp. Up was a Pixar movie. Can't remember all of them. A Bug's Life. Get a list up and tell me the ones I haven't talked about yet. Everybody likes your everybody. No, Shrek was not Pixar. It was DreamWorks.
There's that new Brave in 2012 with that redhead.
Yeah,
person.
Brave.
Bug's Life. Inside Out. That's a newer one.
Oh, that was awful. I did not like that.
That was pretty bad. Obviously, second Monsters, Inc. The Good Dinosaurs, new. Haven't seen that.
Yeah, that was just okay.
Coco is big. That's also new. 2017.
Yeah.
Didn't see that.
That looked awful, too.
That's about it. And then we have, obviously, Incredibles 2 coming out in this summer.
So you told your answer, and everybody said their answer. I'm going to give you the correct answer. The correct answer of the best Pixar movie was The Incredibles.
Thank you.
Absolutely the best movie.
It's incredible.
It's an incredible movie. It's a fantastic movie, and you can watch it all the time. It comes on, you watch it, and it's good. It's good every single time. Incredibles is a great movie. Number 2, Finding Nemo, and then the original Cars is number 3. A lot of people don't like Cars. I liked it. But the answer is definitely The Incredibles. Now that we've got all the important stuff out of the way, that has been in our podcast. Please come back tomorrow. I promise we'll talk about more important stuff tomorrow. Until then, my name is Brandon Walker. You've been watching and listening to More Cowbell, the Mississippi State podcast presented by SEC Country. Yeah, I'm excited about The Incredibles too. What about you?
That's going to be good. I saw the trailer the other day.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah, was it riding down I-75, the trailer?
I don't know.
Oh.
Maybe.
Woman, where's my super suit? I love that one. I love that part. What was his name? Frozone?
Frozone.
Yeah. Toy Story is not in your top 3? No, it's not. I mean, it's okay. It was a good movie. Why are they making a Toy Story 4? They ended it perfectly on Toy Story 3.
Money.
I know that's the answer. But you can't make money somewhere else. Brandon, did you hear Montravius Richardson recommitted to Mississippi State for 2019, Jay Robertson? So he is an offensive lineman out of Georgia, I believe. I think he's at Georgia military. And yeah, I did see that right before we came on the air. He is recommitted to Mississippi State. So that's good. That's an offensive lineman. You need a bunch of them. So that is good. So what is Can's new walk-up song? Oh, my Lord. Oh, boy. I probably shouldn't touch that. Hey, buddy, we're wearing the same shirt today. Can's new walk-up song. Man, you guys have fun with that. Robert Young says, did you ring the cowbell? Well, Robert, if you had been here, you would know. So you have to get here every day at 10:45 Central Time. But yes, I did ring the cowbell. I did ring it. Brandon Hunter Renfro might be traded to the Braves. Love it when Bulldogs are Braves. Not been too many. How many? Paul Maholm? Has there been another one? I guess I can't think of. Would you count Austin Riley when he makes the Braves in a couple of years? He was committed to us, but he never signed. Or maybe he did sign. Brandon Don Ragsdale is going to Hines for football and baseball. That is Matt Anderson. That's hilarious. You see Matt Anderson's answer for Andy Canizaro's walk-up song?
No, what was it?
Look at it.
All right.
Just scroll down and you see Matt Anderson. Tyler Moore was for a cup of coffee. I don't remember him being a Brave. I don't remember him. There haven't been a lot of Mississippi State Braves. You're going to be sickened when the details come out on Canizaro. Oh, I know the details, Drew. It's troubling. I have to stop myself. Brian McCann spoke at BSA in Meridian, Mississippi last week. I bet that was fun. Brian McCann, current World Series champion, right? He was on the Astros last year. Is that right?
Yeah.
Him and Evan Gaddis both, former Braves catchers on the Astros last year.
Former janitor.
We should stick to middle-aged, slightly overweight dudes, says Boyd Barnett. So clearly he wants me to be the next coach of Mississippi State baseball. I am busy. And I'm not slightly overweight. I'm pretty badly overweight. Jay Powell was a Brave? I don't remember that. I remember him being a Marlin and about 3 other things. I don't remember him being a Brave. What's for lunch today? Yo quiero Taco Bell. No Taco Bell in Dubai. Please send 2 soft tacos and a bean burrito, please. Yeah, that would... no Taco Bell in Dubai. Don't they have everything in Dubai? I thought Dubai was just basically Chicago in the Middle East somewhere. Is that not right? It's very Americanized. A lot of money. I bet Buster Bones just building buildings and making a lot of cash. Did Turp babysit for you the other night? No, that wouldn't work out for either one of us. Wouldn't work out for either one of us. For a cup of coffee not long. That phrase always gets me when a player signs with a team for just a little while and you call it a cup of coffee. I always just imagine them really going into the locker room, just having a cup of coffee and then leaving. That just doesn't seem worth getting paid for. Will Salmon played baseball, would make a good coach. Did he? I didn't know that. Building theme park. Six Flags coming soon, says Buster Bone. Still sounds like a lot of money. That sounds something lucrative. Next time you go, can I go with you? I'll do the show from over there.
Same. Remote show from Dubai.
Remote show from Dubai.
Six Flags.
If I gave you a globe that didn't have the country names on there, how close could you get to Dubai?
I would get pretty close, I feel like. I have a good idea of where it is.
I don't think so.
I'm pretty confident.
I don't think you could.
Mm-hmm.
It's on water. I know that. It's on water. So you look in the Middle East and you find some water, and then there it is. You ever seen that building, that tall building they built over there?
Isn't it the tallest in the world?
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
I haven't seen it, so.
Buster Bones says, come on over. All right. So you going to handle the plane tickets?
Yep, all on me.
Good. Abdullah Du was the difference in the game last night. We out-hustled them. You know what? That's right. 19 points, career high. And we went into that game, and A&M has these bigs that everybody loves, and they're supposed to be lottery picks, but they don't do anything on the court. And Abdullah Du just outplayed the crap out of them. Outplayed the hell out of those players, and we won the game. He was the difference last night. Because that would have been their biggest advantage, and he simply got rid of that advantage. Our guards last night were so much quicker than A&M. Our guards are just really, really good, period. I would venture to say we have the three best guards in the conference as a whole when you talk about Lamar Peters and both Weatherspoons. We have so many different topics right now, I can't even keep up. Welcome to my world, Landon. I don't keep up most days. Are we going to Pasta Wednesday today?
That's the plan.
Are you guys going to go as soon as we get done?
Most likely, yes.
You're not going to wait on me?
No. Definitely not. Although you might need your badge, so possible.
You're not taking my badge because I'm going over there.
I know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. You can walk. Just walk through the woods. Walk.
Over there. It's that way.
That way?
That way.
Walk through the woods.
I'm down. I probably will.
Howland is the best men's basketball coach we've had in a long time. I don't think you can argue that. And it was frustrating for a little while, and we all wondered where it was. Well, it's here. Here it is. And to me, every game we play, it's just building. It's just building. We are finally in the sunlight. Brandon, I saw your Twitter conversation with the Texas A&M guy. How can Texas A&M honestly get in the tournament given how they have played in the SEC? I don't know the answer to that. We give A&M all this credit because they played a good non-conference and they won a couple of games, but they have been just hot garbage in the SEC. They're 6-9, and they were awful last night. That's not a tournament team. You look at those two teams last night, and you tell me Texas A&M is a better basketball team than Mississippi State. You can't do it. You cannot do it. All right. Anything else? Land Shark, you ready? All right. I just wanted her to do that because I'm going to go about 5 or 10 more minutes. I just need her to get upset.
Nice.
Yeah, good stuff. Had fun today. Had a lot of fun. All right. I like holding the mic because sometimes I just like sitting back. And I know this is not really how you hold a mic, right?
No.
This is a stand. This is very heavy. This is also my weightlifting for the day. What would you say this weighs? 40, 50 pounds?
I would say 14.
There's no way. It weighs like 6. Weighs like 6 pounds.
Is that base not as heavy as I think it is?
No.
Oh. I was thinking the other thing we held the other day. That was heavy. The other base.
All right. They have them as a 6 seed, which means they are locked. Jay Hammers, they do not have them as a 6 seed. That announcer was wrong. Lunardi has them as a 9 seed. That announcer was just flat wrong. So when he said it, I was like, what? And I went back, and Lunardi has them as a 9 seed, not a 6. Which 6s and 9s are, interchangeable. So I think nice, right?
Nice.
My name is Brandon Walker. We'll be back tomorrow in the SEC Country Studios. We'll talk about whatever. Until next time, you've been watching more Cowbell, the Mississippi State podcast presented by SEC Country.